Elsie. I am the intern, the writer intern, and this is Naomi. She can introduce herself, just say who you are, what section you're in, and how long you've been in the choir.
My name is Naomi Nichols. I am in the alto section, and I've been in the choir since it was created. So about 6.5 years ago, almost. So yeah.
Okay. And I just wanted to just talk about just your faith journey and what that has been like. So the first question I have for you is, what has your journey been like faith-wise?
Faith-wise, well, I'll say that I've always had a relationship not a relationship. I've always known God, but because I grew up in a Christian household. But I never really knew him for my own. I only knew him from my parents' perspective, and I didn't really get to know him until I'd say, honestly, my sophomore year of college. So that was about almost 2 years ago where I really tapped into my relationship with him. And my mind was in such a different place at that time. I had so many other idols. I had so many other things that I was fixated on that was causing me to be anxious and to just worry about things of this world. However, when I really locked in and locked eyes with God, I can say that I can never go back, if I'm honest.
Amen.
But yeah, that's really how my faith has been. I'd say I'm in a pretty good space right now with me and the Lord. However, I know that we'll never be satisfied, with all that we have. So.
And if you had to describe your season right now in 2 or 3 words, what would that look like? And then just kind of just roll off of that.
My season. Okay, first I would say faith. Faith, growth, and I feel so cliche, but trust. Honest. I feel like faith and trust is the same thing. But yeah, you want me to describe why? Okay, so I say those 3 words. They all kind of tie into the same story. I'm in college right now. I'm about to graduate, but I have no idea where my degree is going to take me. However, God is just aligning things that is not a coincidence. So I know that it's Him. So I'm trying to have faith and to just trust Him. I'm kind of just going blindly, as I'm graduating.
What was one thing this year has taught you about yourself?
One thing this year has taught me about myself so far, as I was fasting in January, that I learned how much my flesh was in control in a lot of certain areas in my life. And God is still revealing that to me, and He's revealed that I still have some idols that I still need, some just worldly desires. All of us have some sort of worldly desires that were still a little bit stronger than Him. And that's really what He has taught me, and He's also taught me that the more I spend time with Him, the less of the world I desire. Yeah.
That kind of leads to the next question, and you kind of answered. What did you make it through that you didn't think you could?
This year?
Or in general in your faith journey?
In my faith journey? Wow. Okay, so in high school, I had a really, really dark time. I believe it was the whole COVID situation that happened. It was a super dark time. I was just overly depressed. I would even tell Corlin this. He'd be like, hey, you should still come around. Being around people can help. And it did. But when I went back home, I was still depressed more than ever. And it came from nowhere. It was just a sense of hopelessness, that was just truly demonic, and it overtook me. And I did, honestly, if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't have gotten through it. I'd say that's a big part of my testimony. And just by, honestly, I don't even really know how I woke up from that. It was just truly God. It was I came to Him God, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm depressed. I have no idea why. However, I'm feeling hopeless and I can't get out of it. And just truly leaning on Him, that's the only way I got out of it. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. Let's end it with this one. The question is, if you could speak to yourself from January, what would you say?
I'd say prepare for the ways that God is going to make, because the way things have just been lining up for me is just ridiculous. You can call me delusional if you want, but I know that it's the Lord, the way that He's been connecting me to certain people, to certain opportunities, But what I would tell myself is truly prepare and trust God. Because back then I was having panic attacks week after week because I did not know if my degree was worth it. But now, because I've truly leaned on him, he wouldn't take me this far for no reason. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have opened this door for no reason. So, yeah, just trust and prepare. Yeah.
And I know you were talking about this January, but I want to know, what would you say to yourself the next January, 2027? What is something you would say to your future self that you are firmly believing now and that you want to continue to believe?
To stay strong in your faith with the Lord, no matter how things may look. Am I answering your question?
Yeah.
To stay strong in your faith in the Lord, no matter how things seem, no matter which direction, even if certain things don't make sense. Just continue to press through and to just trust it. Stay in your word. Stay in your word as I am now. Of course, I can do better, but get in your word even more. That's what I would tell myself.
I've got one more question. Don't hate me.
Oh my God. Okay.
One. And this one's really important, and
Yeah.
I have to ask it. But how has Known played into your faith walk, and what ways has it impacted your faith walk?
This kind of ties into worship leading. Before, terrified of singing, but I've always had a passion to worship lead, because I have a voice. I feel like that's why the Lord gave me my voice, to help welcome in the Holy Spirit as I sing, whether that's at church, whether that's at a performance, whatever. Known has played into that because it has helped me to create that boldness that I need to get in front of that crowd. I still struggle with it, but as I worship lead with Cortland, as he's training me up to be a worship leader, him and just being a Known has helped me to get in that comfortable space where I can go in front of a crowd and sing and just really depend on God to give me that strength and boldness. Am I making sense?
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Known Vlog, and that is this month's Known testimony. Thank you.